Hello, welcome to Texas Lone Wolf McHow, your source for Red Pill Truth. Today we're going to talk about a very inconvenient truth. The title of this video that I'm doing today is going to be called um, Throwing in the Towel. Okay? Throwing in the towel early and then having regrets. Throwing in the towel and having regrets. Okay. Why do I want to choose this title for the video? Because that's basically what it is. You get two people, they tie the knot, become a couple. Then one of the genders decides to throw in the towel, run to a legal professionalist, initiate the snoopings of the attorneys and the judge, the court reporter, all that kind of stuff. So the title of this video is Throwing in the Towel and Getting Hit with Regrets. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and get into it, shall we? So we're going to get into it. Alrighty. Now, I'm gonna go look this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this for you, okay? Be patient. I'm trying to pull up this. I'm trying to pull this up for you, okay? Now, I threw in the towel. I want him back. Here's what not to do. Go throw in the towel. You're going to get hit with regrets. You're going to, right now, you're in the, after you filed, you're free. Okay, you're a free person. Nobody can tell you what to do. The world is yours. Okay? Now, anyways, threw in the towel, had a regret, went back and remarried. It's going to be another time she's going to throw in the towel again. It's proof. I got the statistics right here to prove it. So, my client Kimmy renounced her ex-husband, proposed again after 5 years of divorce. No contact. They set the wedding date. Well, guess what? August 20th, 2016. Really? First of all, why did she file for divorce to begin with? Don't know yet. But I can almost guarantee you the ex-wife filed for divorce. Husband had to pay all the bills, all the expenses, and all that. 5 years worth it. It took me 9 months after our reconciliation to get the ring. Now we've been set the date. I have so much to do in a short time. Never dreamed this time last year. Never ever seen him again. I took the risk of that first call that brought him back to me for good this time. Alright, so never give up with anyone. Guys actually love a woman knows how to lean back, and it will turn magical. So you're going to get butterflies in your stomach. You're going to have that honeymoon period. Yeah, right. So if you keep reading, you want to get back together with your ex-husband. Alright. And listen to this. It's like trying to listen to a cat. He made methane gas out of its backside to save the environment. Yeah, right. Anyways, who wants to? I mean, I'll tell you what. Anyways, she didn't pretend she needed to know something, just touch base with him. She didn't need send funny video for him to see. Okay, okay. So, anyways, she divorced him and she wants him back. Alright? And right here it says, I regret divorcing my husband. I want him back. You know what, women? If you had you be patient, had you fix what was wrong with you first instead of running after the legal teams to embarrass yourself and embarrass him and put it all on public record. You know, every time you go out and you want to end the marriage because you found somebody else you think is high value, come to find out he's a fluke. Really. So, yeah, statistically, the women file for divorce. Biggest part of the time, I have the stats to back it up. I'm going to get to that in here in a little bit. When I was planning to get a divorce, I never think I would say anything like, oh no, I made a mistake, I want it back, or tell my friends I regret divorcing my husband, I missed him dearly. It's been a rough marriage, and I left that house, I heaved a high sigh of relief. Finally closing that unmissable chapter of my life. Yeah, you act out of emotions right here. This is emotions right here. You act it out. But things took a turn a while later. I stopped feeling like myself. You finally come to the realization you need your husband more than what you thought. Life was much rosier with my husband around. Began to miss him immediately. Yeah, you file for divorce out of emotions. So that's why women can't make sound judgment. So if a woman comes up to me and says she wants to marry me, the first thing I'm going to say, yeah, so you can run to the legal team and finesse me for financial resources. Don't think I won't do that. And many of you, men and women, have been through this. I want to hear what you got to say. Here's my story of the very beginning of the thoughts I want my husband back. I started circling around my head. And I was convinced I wanted to be a happy single life. After all, it was clear in my head my life had other plans for me. Whoa. You did it out of emotions. Dialing the story back before the divorce, like any other day, he slammed the main door behind him and left for work. But today I had different plans. I had enough of him. We had enough of each other. One more day together, both of us at least would have be completely lost it. Yeah, you did this out of emotions. I never thought I'd leaving my husband was a mistake. Of course it was. His money is starting to take off, and you want some of that piece of that pie right there. So you just talked to a lawyer, then you got to the kangaroo court where there's jugglers, jesters, and clowns and all that, looking into your finances. Of course, you know, for females, it's always favored in divorce cases. Without further delay, I called up his mom and informed her that I was done with her son and leaving immediately. Did that out of emotions. Within an hour, I checked into a hotel close to our house. I called my parents, told them about my decision to. You just did that out of your emotions. I moved back home to my parents' house in Portland, Oregon. I knew my life was going to be easier hereafter, living in Seattle. Yeah, well, that was emotions right here. You're thinking with your emotions. Listen, when you think with your emotions, disaster happens. Okay? When you okay, look, there's two different ways to think in life. What you think with your emotions is going to cause a destructive pattern, destructive behavior. You think logically, you're going to come out smooth ahead. You're going to come out stronger. So it was a relief. My little niece is welcoming. It's good to be back in that noisy house. I regret divorcing my husband. Yeah, of course you do. That's your guilty conscience talking to you. My parents, sister, cousin, without exception, were quiet, no questions asked. They were my people and knew I had mine of my own, but calls from a different mother-in-law kept pouring almost every day. She yielded at the idea her son had separated from his wife. 2 months passed without any conversation between us. Common friends kept us updated by each other, but I was not too interested, let alone thinking I wanted back. It felt impossible then. I wanted to take you back. If you filed for divorce with me, I would have left it at that as is. And if you wanted to stay in my crib, you would have to renounce feminism. You had to renounce all ideology of feminism. You're going to have to agree the 19th Amendment must be repealed. You're going to have to agree to that if you want to stay in my crib. And yeah, I mean what I said, and I say what I mean too. Oh, well, you're going to be lonely. Well, you know what? When I'm lonely, that's where I get the most power. I'm a lone wolf. And I love being alone. That's where I have clear thinking. My status, state of mind, hairstyle, dress style has changed, but what has changed, I was done with him. So, leaving my husband was a mistake. When I saw him on Facebook enjoying vacation to Jamaica with his family, I took the opportunity in his absence from Seattle, went back to the old house, collected my belongings. After I turned the key in my ex home, to my surprise, I was numb. So, the guest bedroom was his bedroom. The master room was locked and nothing had been moved at all. The layers of dust over spoke volumes about a tattered, frazzled relationship. I guess personalizing a new home was supposed to give us both a fresh start. The divorce is inevitable. I filed it. See? There it is. The woman filed a divorce. Obviously mutual. Conversation through emails couldn't be avoided. The date was fixed for the first hearing, and I was looking forward to freedom. Let me tell you something, women. If you're listening to this video and you want marriage, and I'm the man you're asking to marry, I will tell you, hell to the no. I don't want no part of it. I think a ceremony is a waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy, and of obviously a statistic waiting to happen. When I reached the court on time, I was called to sign him first. Couldn't see him anywhere. I learned that he had arrived much before time and was waiting outside. I felt relieved. Would this happiness to gaining freedom or seeing him after 4 long months? The dilemma was clear when I realized I already signed my divorce petition. Yes, it was my day. First step to liberation from the man I hated. Well, let me tell you something, sweetie. You divorced your husband, now you want him back? Really? You say you hated him. Why you want him back? You see, women, you act on emotions. You're an emotional creature. You act on emotions. You want this, but you hate that. What the hell do you want? What do you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want the other? What do you want? Huh? Yeah. As I turned my head, he stood there in his favorite pair of jeans shirt he always loved. For the corner of my eye, I saw him make a scrawl signature. At that moment, I burst out crying all of a sudden. Why? Well, you hated him. You wanted a divorce. You got it. That's what I was waiting for, and it was happening. Getting my freedom. Cried like a toddler. After losing her favorite toy. Well, it is. And he took me in his arm close, murmured, "Babe, you're my love. You always remain, but if my presence bother you, I accept losing you as my destiny." Well, maybe you would kept your emotions in check. You wouldn't got a divorce. Ah. Listen, child. Listen, woman. You married me out of love, and you turn around and you file for divorce. I ain't taking you back. Excuse me. I could feel the warm tears on my bare neck. As soon as he looked at me with his infectious smile. He said, "Assure me that he will never trouble you again or come in my way." But I knew I wanted him back in my life forever. You leaving my husband was a mistake. Oh, wow. Looky here. Looky here. Looky. My stubbornness melted while my heart was his. The icing on the cake, his normal manly tone, he blurted out, "In your absence, I've become wiser but not intelligent. I remember you taught me how to write my first email in college. Every time I typed one, I missed you, my mentor." Well, that means you two were peas in a pod. And that's when I realized how badly I wanted back, and I messed up. We're together now. So if I were to have my own house, my own land, my own stuff, and you divorce me, you'll be living according to my rules. And I have rules already in place that would be enforced. The rest of the day was spent at my favorite restaurant in Seattle to discuss finding a solution to all problems. I went back home to Portland. And anyways, jumped in the car beside him. You know what? You filed for divorce. I had emotions. And guess what? All this stuff here is going to come back and bite you in the ass. Anyways. Leaving my husband was a mistake. We need a little time and space for a relationship to think. Wow. Really? You needed a little time and space? Really? And you wanted to file for divorce for that? I think a mutual separation would have done. Seriously. But I'm probably going to get dislike on this video anyways. I consider myself extremely lucky to be accepted back with open arms by him and his family. Why I behave like this remains a mystery. Well, because reality struck you in the backside. That's why. What I needed was to break from him for a few days. Yeah, you filed for divorce. That's your break right there, ain't it, huh? Maybe it was hormonal imbalance. No. It was emotional. You're full of emotions. I regret divorcing my husband. I'm glad he made the right call at the right time to fix it. So, now, I'm going to go ahead and cover this. It's 40% of divorcing couples are actually interested in restoring their marriage again. Really? And It's hard to be single and alone again. Well, you know what? You chose that path. Had you kept your ass out of that the lawyer's office to file for divorce, you wouldn't be in this heartache, would you? So yeah, this one reason why I'm anti-marriage all the way. It's supposed to be a beautiful union, according to the statistics here. Look at this. I'm going to get to the stats. United States has the sixth highest divorce rate in the world, with 50% married couples filing for divorce. Look at this. Since the Bureau reported that marriage and divorce rate dropped from 2009 to 2019. Nobody ain't getting married. That's why it dropped. Oh, look here. Black women divorce at a higher rate, 38.9%, than any other woman of the race. Oh, the baby boomers have the highest divorce rate amongst other generation, 34.9%. Oh, get this. 3 states, Maryland, New Jersey, Massachusetts, have some of the highest median income levels, the lowest rate of divorce. Look at this. Alabama, Kentucky, and Oklahoma have some of the lowest median income and the highest rate of divorce. What is that talking about? Money, right? Well, get this. It's funny that CDC reported divorce. National divorce is about 2.3 per 1,000 people. But yeah, people ain't getting married. People ain't tied a knot. So, Arkansas has the highest divorce rate. Nevada, New Mexico, what does all that tie into? Money, right? Money right there. Okay, Maine, D.C., South Dakota, Pennsylvania, New York, Illinois, New Jersey, Iowa, Wisconsin, Massachusetts have the lowest divorce rate. So here you go. Who files for divorce more? I need y'all to argue with this. Look at this. Look at this. Women, 69% of the time. Women. Look at that. Look here. Look at that. I'm going to put this in here and let you look at this. Oh, look at this. It's why people ain't even tied or not. Look at this. 8.2 years length of a marriage before they call it throwing a towel. Now, the Big Apple, aka New York, the length is almost 12.2 years. So yeah. Now, yeah, income affects divorce. That's easy money right there. Women just file it, men pay the fees. That's how you rake their ass across the coals. So, look at this. Look at this. I want to get back my ex-husband. Well, why did you file for divorce? Why'd you file for divorce? Why you want to start dating? I thought you can't stand him. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. I'm beginning to miss him. I would like for us to start dating each other again. I actually ready to settle down again. There's nothing indicating the other person won't. Sound like it's a you issue. You'd approach your ex to reconcile a long divorce process. Absolutely cruel. Look at this. Did you initiate the divorce? If so, please leave him alone. Just because reality's hitting you, you had your fun playtime and haven't found anyone else doesn't mean you actually played games with him. Chances he's been through grief process entirely over you by now. Looky here. Yes, I initiated the divorce. I know I'm taking a huge risk. He will never be over me by now. I have no intentions of hurting him. Really, really. And to be honest, we both screwed each other over pretty bad. We're still friends, civil with one another. He tried getting me back. I refused because at the time my relationship was very toxic. Well, according to this, she initiated a divorce. Now she wants to get back with him. You rejected any attempt to reconnect. This 2 rejections, and now you want to try again with him? Are you even stopped to take his feelings into consideration, or just your own? Any relationship with him will be built on being rejected twice. Not a great way to start. You missed what you had because you had to end it about to be final. Except it's final, move on. It's for the best in the long run. So, let me be right back. All right, I'm back, everybody. Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna touch base. She said, it crossed my mind that reopening old wounds. He come a long ways. I hate to confuse and or hurt him. Well, she got downvotes right here. And you don't sound like you're looking at it from his point of view, just yours. For example, if I were in his shoes, my thought process would be something like this. She rejected me twice and now wants a relationship. Why is she doing this to reject me again? Is she sincere? How could I ever know for sure? She isn't going to leave me again. How would I be able to protect myself from being hurt in the 3rd time? So let's just say he doesn't think that way. You two get back together and won't end that resentment. Anyways. Wouldn't he be hurt that you weren't like this from the beginning? What changed make you a good partner now? Wasn't he good enough for you, a good partner earlier? Stop being selfish, let him go. Well, you know what? What changed in your or him in such a way you want to be a toxic relationship? People fall back in their comfort zones and any reconciliation may wind up being toxic again. In fact, 1 or 2 of you done some serious work on yourself, then nothing has changed. You remember why, and you'll remember why he initiated the divorce. All right. Now we're gonna go over here and anyways. Wow, my wife and I have been separated since August 2020 after she needed space, aka doing her ex-boyfriend from college. Our divorce was final in April of this year. I never want to speak to that woman again, especially how she put our family through so much grief. Leave him alone, you made your choice. We'll see, so everybody's telling her, you initiated a divorce? Let it alone. Let that dog slide. And you know what? Oh, somebody else posted here. If I were your ex-husband's friend, I would literally do everything in my power to show him how bad of an idea you are. You filed for a divorce out of emotions. You see? You see? Now look at this. You're actually almost done with a divorce. Now you're getting cold feet. This not good time. This good time to try and rekindle. From everything I've seen, people get back together in this kind of scenario. Almost always yo-yo, repeat. Whatever caused a breakup, then everything's a huge mess. Yep. She initiated the divorce. Oh, look at this. I, 36 female, want my ex-husband, 36 male, back. Really? Really? You know what? Look at this. I've been lurking for sub for months. It's my first time posting here. So I met my ex-husband. Let's call him Darnell. We were in our first year of college. I immediately fell for him. Oh yeah, that's out of emotions. Your emotion. Fast forward to the end of college. We've been together 4 years. We've been talking about marriage. This is the happiest moment of my life. He proposed to me 2 months after we graduated. We got married after a year after that. Got butterflies in your stomach and all. Life's going great. Had a great husband, great job. Had our son. That's when things began to spiral out of control. Get a honeymoon phase just went, and reality set in. You went to a party one night, got ridiculously drunk. You went to a party. So what the hell does a married woman having to go to a friggin' party? Really? You know, a mom that has a son going out and partying, trying cocaine, trying all this. Really? Well. Let's see what we got here. So my life's doing great. Great husband, good job. Had a son, 2 years, got married. Went to a party one night, got ridiculously drunk. That ain't no friend right there. Who had cocaine and kept asking you to try it. Oh, it was a female that told her to try it. To get her a shove, she did. And she got addicted to it. Look at this. Look at this. After that, I became a drug addict. I started out small, stealing $20 for some drugs. Then ran out of her own money. She began stealing hundreds of dollars of his. He caught on that he was losing a ton of money, so I stopped stealing from him. At this point, I was all out drug addict. Got fired from a job. Lied to her husband trying to say I got laid off. They did the worst thing I ever done to my husband, and I cheated a lot. Looky here. I began to sleep with my drug dealers regularly, more than I sleep with him, sometimes even on the bed we slept on. Cheating, stealing went almost 2 years. He found out and threw me out of the house. Called my parents if I could stay with him. Their response, I kid you not. You wanted to marry the N-word, you got to suffer the consequences. Alright? My ex-husband is, you know what, and she's white, by the way. So we got divorced 3 months later. He gets full custody of the son. She begins rehab. It is hell. She went to stop going, but knew I have a son. Eventually wanted to see. Took 2.5 years, but finally came clean. I've been clean for nearly 6 years now. Got my life together. Now I have a great paying job that I love. My relationship with my ex-husband is better than ever before. A year ago, my ex-husband decided our son should stay with me full time. Since then, I've been getting closer and closer. Now I'm starting to fall for him again. Really? We've been on a couple of dates. I've been spending much more time with each other. Well, they had bedroom fun for the first time since their divorce. And it was heaven. She wants him back. Now, before it jumped down her throat, yes, I was cheating, stealing, wrong. It was 100% my fault. There was no blame attached to anybody but me. That being said, I would never cheat again. I've been in 3 relationships since me and my ex-husband divorced. I've been cheating on all of them. I know how it feels. More than that, I feel like a much more mature person than I was 10 years ago. I want to approach him about it, but I'm not sure how to go about doing it. Has anyone ever gone through something like this? How should I approach it? Used to be a drug addict, cheating wife, now I'm clean. I want my ex-husband back. Somebody said you could lose him. You know what? Cheating. You know what? I don't know. She's not getting any, anyways, you know, it sounds like, she just opened a can of worms right here. Now, here she had a, anyways. Now, there's that girl who got her to, anyways. Somebody downvoted her. So she made that cheating decisions. She took STD panel, nothing. Haven't even touched alcohol since rehab. It's look, if you oh yes, he has every reason not to fully trust. Yes, of course. Listen, trust takes years to build, seconds to destroy. All right. It takes years to build, seconds to destroy. You're gonna have to get you an invisible broom and a dustpan to sweep all the broken pieces and throw it away, and you're gonna have to take years to rebuild. Did you know that? It may or may not go back to the way it was originally. And listen, you can't have your cake and eat it and expect it not to be toxic. So to speak. So, and look at this. She initiated a divorce right here. He's a wonderful person, a huge loss. How do people move on still with no ill rewards? Besides regret. I hold on one forever known ways I could have prevented this. See? You follow out emotions. Alright? I could feel I know it could be years before I feel any better. So many divorce stories involving infidelity or abuse. Horrible things. Things can be a relief to get away from. But what happened to the people who deeply care for their former spouse? The whole love but not in love ordeal. Well, let me tell you. You know what? Filing for divorce. I mean, it's painful. And it's painful. So why look, if there is something wrong with the relationship, separate. Spare that extra. Spare that pain. Spare that pain, okay? Spare that pain, spare that anguish. Spare that losing the other half. All right? Anyways, see, women file for emotion with their divorce with emotions. Then when the damage is already done, there's no going back and fixing it. You know what? I'm just going to say this. When women file for divorce out of emotions, sometimes it's peer pressure. Sometimes it's pressure from other friends or outside influence. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I have no sympathy for those who file for divorces for short-term fix. If the relationship could be salvaged, take that route. I'm going to post all these website links into the description for you to read. But I'm also going to give my 2 cents. If you're going to file for divorce for a temporary fix, you're going to be in for a long regret. I've already covered this one ex-wife who was a cocaine addict, stealing money to fund her habits, just because another female told her to try it. That wasn't her friend. That was an adversary that sent him to destroy the marriage. Hey, I'm telling you, actions have consequences, my friends. Take care of yourself, take care of others. Peace.